Midwest, I think. I'm not sure exactly where.
Somewhere
it
in
might be
the
Chicago.
Midwest.
I think it might be Chicago. But,
Best Game & Watch in the Midwest.
okay, that doesn't narrow it down at all. Thank you, Ploopy Twitter.
#1 in Kansas.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That whole region, they all travel around to each other.
No,
it's
yeah.
really not too
Shout
hard.
out to like Kansas, Kentucky, like all like the Midwest states because they really come out to Smash events.
It's true.
And I have a lot of respect for that. Ashton and Ploopy, I don't know if they've ever played, but Ashton has a lot of Game & Watch experience, and Dothia has been ranked #1 in NC, and they have a pretty interesting set record as far as I know. I'm curious to see if these two have ever played before because Ashton's been around for a long time. Looks like they haven't. So first time for everything, and I hope that means we get to create some beef between the Midwest and North Carolina, because I hope that means we get to have a crew battle eventually.
Yeah, North Carolina likes to create beef with every other region, so let's just keep it up.
I actually think North Carolina is a pretty beefless region. There's like 2 players
That's
that like
true
to
now.
instigate.
This is more ancient history.
Like back in the olden days, definitely. Like the unks of North Carolina loved having beef with other states.
It's true.
But the young heads, you know, they're pretty chill. Although I think Endothia gets a lot of flack from the way he used to talk on Twitter, and I have respect for that.
Wow, just trampolining off of Game & Watch's big old noggin there, double jumping off
Yeah,
of it. But a
Ashton.
nice down tilt into an up air, going to steal it out. I have no idea how this matchup is meant to go.
It's
There's
going to
so
be
many
hard
factors.
for me to hide my biases towards North Carolinian players, I think especially. Ashton is one of those who goes to NC State as well, and is like very, very like North Carolina filled, has a very interesting North Carolina story as well. Him and his twin brother Key are from Wilmington, and absolutely farmed Wilmington for years upon years upon years. Either one of them won like almost every single local. And then finally, when they went to college, both of them went to NC State and became #1 and 2 on the PR, which I think is so funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Real
both
come up
very
story for
talented
the
players.
twins, you know?
Yeah,
We saw Key earlier beat Nico on stream.
Yeah,
so.
Key, a very talented Ridley player, which is pretty much the opposite of Mr. Game & Watch in terms of game design. So it's very funny to see, of Young Link. So it's very funny to see them both rocking out in completely different ways. But
Yeah,
so
even
far, we
then-
have a very even.
Literally even, down to the decimal point of percentages. Ashton is so good at finding a lot of kill confirms. I think that's one of his biggest strengths as a player, is finding this down tilt into up air. He is so solid at these mid to high percent conversions. Ploopy, work cut out for him. And I think Ashton might be alive, actually.
Wow.
And Ploopy
Great
going for a
recovery.
read, going for a call out, doesn't land it.
Perfectly
Ashton.
spaced there on the up B to ledge. And one thing that Young Link players complain about quite a bit is kill power. They feel like they can't finish off their stops.
I don't think I've ever heard Ashton complain in my entire
Maybe
life.
not Ashton. I just mean that's my experience with Young Link mains in general. And in terms of matchups, I think Game & Watch being so light really plugs those holes a lot, where your kill confirms that maybe will connect but not kill against other characters are gonna work against one of the lightest characters in the game.
I imagine that this
That
is
was
probably
beautiful.
one of the more frustrating matchups for Game & Watch players.
I could definitely see that being true, because you say I've got bucket, but if you bucket most of his stuff, it'll just reflect it, which it's not strong enough for you to really get much off of that. And then if you absorb the bomb, you just get the little multi hits.
Yeah, like we saw it happen earlier
Yeah.
in the game. Ashton was at like 100, like 90%, got hit by a bucket, and it sent him like 10 feet. Like who
It'll
cares?
do like 12% and basically never kill, because the multi hits just don't have enough damage to turn into anything crazy. Okay, it's going to be Ploopy opening
swapping
us
the
up with a big
colors.
combo here.
Swapping the colors for Ploopy to try to blend into the stage a little bit better. I kind of like that.
I call that that's a peep nut move.
That's a Peepnut classic.
I don't think I've ever seen this Game & Watch skin. I think it might be one of the least popular.
It is the most uncommon. It has to be. There are some ugly skins, and I think this is low-key one of them. I do not think this is a good shade of green. Maybe I'm biased.
No, I agree with you.
Something about the outline just throws me off.
A little bit of damage being answered back here for Ashton. He's getting these up airs every single time. I did not think down throw up air was such a true combo.
Ooh, not going to be enough to
Set off
find
stage.
anything.
Will he make his way through the bacon? This time he does.
Oh, yeah.
Great conversion.
And once again, it's those 2-hit confirms from Ashton. Like he knows exactly where the follow-up is coming from Boomerang, from down tilt, from Nair. And the bucket not landing as well for Ploopy. It just feels like he hasn't been able to get anything started. Up B to rack up percentage, and he just gets back down to the stage, and he's allowed to reset. Ashton has not had to stop at all this set.
Having a combo that includes a grab on an aerial opponent just looks saucy every time. And I think it's one of those things that tether grabs like are good for doing, and you don't see a lot of use out of Young Link grab in general. Like, you have to do so because the pressure.
Ooh.
Wow, what an angle!
That's a big catch from Ploopy. They finally find a quick conversion to halt the momentum a little bit, but it's so much room to get back in. Game Watch, not a character that struggles to get back in. I think if you're able to land, you know, a couple of nairs, a couple of back airs, you'll convert damage very, very quickly. But Ashton, even when like damage has been racked up, he's been able to stay calm in these late stock situations.
Okay, he finds the landing there. That's usually going to be a big punish. Just kind of turns into a little tech chase up there. Nothing too insane. But this damage is starting to rack up, and Game & Watch, no slouch in the killing department if you can find the right moves.
Back throw.
Sent off stage. What's the ledge trap? Just going to back up a little bit, play the porcupine game. This is my center stage, my Pokeball. Don't come in my zone.
Oh, parry. I thought there was going to be a punish there.
Yeah, I was expecting like an up B or something like that.
I was thinking like up tilt or up smash. Up B would have been good.
Yeah, well, there's a great drift there. I think maybe he wasn't confident that he was going to catch him with it.
Something I'm noticing is that Ashton is not very willing to click up B out of shield.
Yeah,
that's a trap that I think a lot of young Links fall into. And Ashton is always choosing other options. And just like that, wow, the down air, not quite enough, but it'll send Ploopy into a bad situation.
Young Link dare, that's a good move.
But
Feels
honestly,
like
it's a 60% lead, but it almost feels like it isn't, because this is kill percentage for Game & Watch in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. On Game & Watch, sometimes like you would rather be at lower percents even so you can find follow-ups off of your hits. But at this percent, you have to find something that just kills outright, and that can be difficult sometimes.
Young Link has that same issue where you had to see a straight hit in air, take the KO there. You almost want to be a little bit lower percent to be able to find the KO, but down smash into forward smash. We'll put this back on the last stock, 0% for both players. You want to be at like 80 to 90% if you're Young Link or Game & Watch. Both of these, both these characters.
Said the wrong character, but it does apply to both.
Yeah.
And oh my God!
Wow,
great read on the air dodge, but not finding the sweet spot he wanted for the berry.
Yeah, they're finding the conversions.
Damage racks up so quickly in this matchup. Somehow there's only 3 minutes on the clock. Feels like we've been flying by.
Yeah, a lot of time has passed. They have kind of been going punch for punch, and I feel like neither of them. Wow, no way. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Just throw it out.
Something to throw out, landing the one frame conversion, and costs you nothing if it doesn't hit. It actually puts on some shield pressure, so it's a great thing to just be putting there on ledge, and really well timed.
Yeah, comeback for Ploopy actually.
Yeah, beautiful. We're now in a 1-1 situation. And what looked like a really dominant performance from Ashton has really swung around to the more even side. Doing each other out.
Ooh.
So many moves coming out in one jump. That's the beauty of Young Link is, yeah, you dodge this hitbox, all right, have another.
Ploopy changed back skins, even after he won. I feel like that doesn't make any sense.
I guess, you know,
maybe it was a mistake.
Figure out which green blends in more.
Maybe it was accidental, you know?
Could be.
He was like, maybe I did it. Maybe he never plays that skin. I still think it was the right play, though. Nice little spot dodge to avoid the grab.
Ooh, okay, doesn't get hit by the follow-up, and wow, down air just connecting into the down tilt up air. That has been his most consistent way to close out these stocks this set.
Ashton has started out these games so effectively. And I think Ploopy, something I want to point out, he has, as soon as he's gotten bucket absorbed, he's thrown it out immediately. Because I think he would rather have the reflect than have it absorbed, which is funny. He's like, you know what, I'm not even getting anything out of it. I might as well just throw it out, take some space back, and get the reflector back. And it converts, the situation leads to another stock.
We'll be getting a lot of these stocks off the one frame on the neutral get up. And it feels like with Game & Watch, a character who, I mean, he has some kill combos, but they're off of smash attacks, right? So a lot of times you have to find kills that way. You can rack up damage super easy, but you have to find a big hit be it, an F tilt or a bomb on ledge, and he's doing a great job of closing these stocks out and not letting Youngling get up to these like 150% that you see sometimes with this character.
Yeah, 100%. Now Ashton a little hesitant to engage. Can't blame him with the way that some of these previous engagements have gone. Ashton, no double jump, but we'll make it back.
I will say Chef has really not been getting a lot of mileage from this set.
Yeah, I think Youngling just has such great airspeed that it's hard to get around, or it's easy for him to get around a lot of the bacon. He can just kind of power through with the up B. Ploopy, even without the Chef getting a lot of value, he himself is getting a lot of value with these up smashes. And it's converting, starting to convert, and Ploopy is starting to gain a bit of a lead.
That was an excellent hard read there. Reading the jump in from Youngling, and this
do
it. Wow, 65%.
And the
yeah, don't be spot dodging near me. You're dead.
Yeah, Ploopy, after that Game 1 performance, has turned it completely around. And they're seed number 17. It makes sense that he wants to be able to keep up. I'm pretty sure that this would have been an upset for Ashton. I want to check the seeding difference once again if Start GG will cooperate.
I bet like a factor of 1, maybe, because Ashton has to be like a top 33 seed here. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But is this one to make it out?
Yes, this is to make it out. Top 96 in winners. Ashton.
Crazy that
seed number 48.
A few years ago, this would have been like to make top 8,
Yeah.
It's really getting harder and harder out here in the Smash Bros. world.
The meta is developed. We also, like, North Carolina is kind of on the map now. We're at major status at Patchwork. So
yeah, and last year I think we just barely made major status. This time we
are
lost our
solidly
#1 seed.
there.
Still major.
We are solidly there. Who is the #1 seed?
It was Zomba.
It was Zomba. Is it Mutace now?
Probably.
Let's go.
Could be Omega.
Might be Shattuck.
Oh my! Came off some really good performances, but wow, gets the 8. Not what you want to see, but
oh man, if it was a 9, I would have screamed. Oh, Ashton not getting the conversion.
Gets it that
Look at the star KO finally.
Always
and now
ready
playing from behind.
follow-up.
Ashton's been playing from ahead for every single game so far, but Ploopy, download kind of completed. Pace change kind of needed for Ashton in order to bring this back to a Game 5.
He's getting a lot of mileage off this grab for Youngling. All those hitboxes are so threatening, so knowing when to weave that really punishable grab in is an art.
Oh my god.
Terrifying to challenge Game Watch down smash every single time. Ooh. That's how I feel every time I see him up smash. Just, ooh, get that thing away from me.
Jump scare. Oh my god, reads the roll as well. Ploopy putting on a show. Does not want to even think about that Game 1. He said, you know what, this is my game to win. Up B, off the stage. Ashton, not to be outdone whatsoever. Even game here.
Conversion, and suddenly we have a hell of a Game 3 right here, or Game 4. Ashton fighting back from the brink. And now finding conversion after conversion, 60%. It racks up so quickly for both these characters.
Yeah, each of them just getting their bread and butter low percent combos. It's once we get to 70% that I think the real game starts for both of these players. They start going for reads. They start going for mix-ups, for mind games, trying to convert into a KO.
I do think it's easier in general to find a kill confirm for Youngling than it is for Game & Watch here.
Oh, great DI from Ploopy. Forward throw.
Almost catches the bad DI, but a great adaptation at the last second for
Ploopy.
Strong hit, short hop nair. Going to take it down at like 110%, and Ashton coming in clutch when it matters. And wow, we got a set on our hands.
I think that's the best Ashton's played so far. That last stock was textbook from him. I think Ploopy had a lot of control over Game 2, Game 3. Ashton was doing a lot of bread and butter stuff in Game 1, but that Game 4 was definitive for Ashton. And if he wins this set, it'll be off of that last stock performance. And Ploopy going back to the tried and true color for Game 5.
Hey, it worked last time. It's a little bit of a power-up. Maybe he's just saving it for him for a Game 5 situation.
Yeah.
Didn't want to overextend his power. He might only have so much of it that he can use in a tournament, you know?
100%.
Okay, just barely challenging the side B with that dash attack. That's where a lot of the big conversions come from for Young Link, as we're seeing here. And again, just a dead even game. Uh-oh, your tether's broke. You're out here without a jump.
He has bomb.
Yeah, bomb will bail him out for one more try.
I think he'll make it back, but...
Would have, but it did make him predictable. Once you're out of options like that, it's really just on Ploopy to screw up the timing.
And Ploopy not going to mess up that timing. And now a bit of desperation for Ashton. You can see him throwing out a couple of hitboxes, looking for something to start. But Ploopy not getting baited, not getting hit by anything, honestly.
A lot of
pot shots here and there, but
Ashton, not turning into too much.
Yeah, up B out of shield for Ploopy. Every single piece of extra credit gets you closer and closer to moving on to top 96 winners. Oh, yeah, I think he misinputted. He wanted a fair, did Ashton.
148, we're getting close to F throw kill percent.
Woo!
But just going to hit him with the very last frame of that forward air as he lands on the ground.
A ton of hitboxes thrown out by Ashton, a ton.
Both these characters be throwing out hitboxes, for sure.
And now we're just about back to even. Ashton not letting the momentum go in Ploopy's favor at all. Still now about 40% between these two players. Second stock for each.
Seeing this quite a bit where Ploopy gets a lead at the start of a stock and then Ashton just gets one or two conversions and claws his way back.
Oh my god!
Down air finding a really strong hit. He gets the red sparks, but it's fake. Not going to kill, but
no way.
Oh my goodness, what a read from Ploopy. Finding the exact spacing he needed for that barrier.
That down smash has found so much mileage for Ploopy. It has been his absolute savior in this matchup. Another hammer. Doesn't land the 9, but it's damage from the 6.
Might as well try.
Oh, we got hit by the bomb, but Ashton wasn't ready for the follow-up. Forward throw, not enough!
Why? Goes for the quick throw. I actually think maybe if he pummeled, he might have got it.
It was close. I think it was DI dependent.
Yeah, I don't know if he was DIing correctly or not there. It's hard to know. But definitely trying to mix him up and catch him holding the wrong direction. Strong nair will do it, and you need it quick. Gets the weak nair instead. Not quite.
Oh, the fair doesn't land either. Oh, nair will be enough. Last stock, game 5. Ashton defending against the #1 from Kansas. Looking to put North Carolina back on the map.
And you're going to hear an eruption if Ashton takes this down. Ploopy,
people don't usually get hype for Young Link, but they'll get hype for people from their region.
100%. And North Carolina, the biggest proponents of that. That being said,
oh my God, he's alive!
Living. Just barely, but only 6% on the board. It's not going to take much for Ploopy to find this kill.
Bacon again.
Ooh, weaves his way through it, doesn't get F tilted.
Oh, up B, up air. Not quite enough. The down smash doesn't land. This is Ashton's opportunity to get something. 38%.
You got to rack up at least like 80 or 90.
Little by little for Ashton.
Talking about killing. And right now it's not enough.
Hit by hit, chip by chip.
Okay, that's a big one. 65%. Oh, we're into the orange.
Keep going. It's orange. Oh, the down air.
Down tilt might.
Oh, that might have Ashton, it's not enough.
Quite, not quite.
He's in the corner.
Returning his own kill screen.
The pressure is on. For Ploopy, the forward air lands!
Ploopy with an excellently placed forward air, going to take down North Carolina's own Ashton to the disappointment of the crowd.
Oh, though it was close.
It was a beautiful set.
Valiant effort from the hero of time, but Ashton forced into the loser side for top 96 tomorrow as Ploopy hangs on to his nerve.
Watching that replay, it was like a frame. It was a frame before Young Link Fair came out there. It just unbelievably tight set. Very, very fun to watch. But yeah, congrats to Ploopy for not getting upset, holding on just barely. And making it
thanking his lucky stars that he made it out.
Making it in winner's side.
Whew. I think Giant Smash is coming up next. I don't know if we have any other single sets.
I'm not sure.
For today.
7:20?
7:20? What time were we supposed to say? Let me pull up the schedule. I have it.